Welcome to your root chakra video. This is a little review of week 1, days 1 through 7 we spent in the root series, and it begins with the root painting by the artist of conscious evolution, Kate LeMay. I'm recording one meditation a day for 49 days, and these are the paintings, Kate's beautiful paintings in her Art of Conscious Evolution deck. So all of her 49 paintings were turned into the deck. And she has a beautiful review as well. The art is absolutely exquisite, as are the paintings. And this is what we're drawing inspiration from for this series. So even though we're moving through the paintings 1 through 49, which the first week begins in the root and moves up to the crown, and then week 2 goes over to the crown and back down to the root chakra. We move through all 7 chakras throughout the week, but the focus of each week is chakras 1 through 7. So we begin in week 1, which is root chakra. And the reason we begin in the root, not only because Kate's paintings begin in the root, is because when you begin a new practice, you ground and root into that practice. So setting your intention for why you're doing it, having a focus and a guide for leaning into a practice can help you show up for it. Having others that you're practicing that are doing the same practice along with you, even if you're not physically together when you're doing it, can make a big difference in holding you accountable and helping you show up. So that is the idea behind this series. Technically, it is a sadhana. Sadhanas are traditionally 40 days in yoga practice, but this one is 49 because we're following Kate's 49 paintings. But a sadhana is a spiritual practice that leads to realization. It's to help develop a daily disciplined practice, so a way to show up in a sacred way, whatever that means for you. And it can include breath work, yoga, prayer, whatever comes through. But the idea is to repeat it daily, and it starts to work on you in a different way. So it becomes something that could either be hard to show up for or that you're really excited to show up for. Beautiful sacred time with yourself and with spirit, whatever that means for you. And the root chakra, each chakra has a color, it has an element, it has kind of a time in your life that it correlates with. So we begin in the root, and Kate's book also has descriptions of each chakra as well. It says the root chakra in Sanskrit is Muladhara, which means root. And the core concepts are grounding, safety, tribe, survival, support, stability, basic physical needs, livelihood, prosperity, stillness, ancestry, physical health, gravity. And the location in the body is the base of the spine, pelvic floor, legs, and feet. And when Kate was creating so many paintings at one time, which eventually led her to name all of her paintings and create this beautiful deck, she drew inspiration from Anodea Judith, who wrote Wheels of Life and Eastern Body, Western Mind. These are incredible. They're almost like chakra encyclopedias. So much beautiful information and descriptions of each chakra. And I really like the references that she has in the book that are like kind of like a table that does a little breakdown of each chakra, telling you the location in the body. So for root, it's Muladhara, root support, and the element is earth. The color is red, energy state, solid, psychological function, survival, results in grounding, physical identity, self-preservation. A lot of fear can live in the root, especially an unbalanced root and ungrounded root. The developmental stage associated with the root is from the womb to 1 year old. And the seed sound is Lam. And there can even be gemstones that are associated with the root, ruby, garnet, hematite. It says the scent could be cedar. There's also foods associated with, root vegetables are something I think of in the root. So obviously I'm trying to keep it concise, so we're not gonna do a deep dive, but there's just such a beautiful wealth of information in Anadea Judith's books. And Wheels of Life is a little bit more easier to digest, I would say. Eastern Body, Western Mind goes a little bit deeper into more of the psychological aspects and what can happen when you have an extreme unbalance in one chakra versus another. So when you're unbalanced in the root, you could be, experiencing physical symptoms, in the legs, in the feet, and in the seat. You can also be in a lot of fear, lack of security, safety. And you can also be in excess in any given chakra, maybe a little bit too rooted, too stuck to your routine and not able to make change super easily. So when we're moving energy, this is where we're starting to play and pull from the liberation and the manifestation current. So when you move from the root to the crown, it is called the liberation current. And when you move from the crown back down to the root, it is called the manifestation current. So if you think of it like a V, the root is at the base, and as you move up the chakras, the idea is to open them and to get that sense of expansiveness and opening through the crown, that liberation, that freedom, that ascent. It is connection to spirit, to divine inspiration, to ideas, to possibility. And when you move in the reverse pattern, so you think start really, really big, right? You start to condense and move down, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Not that you get smaller, that the ideas get smaller, but in order to manifest and to birth something into the world, whether it's an actual human or it is an idea, we must eliminate, to come from really big and then kind of narrow down and concentrate. You have to get a little bit small, and you have to take the small steps to allow you to concentrate and to create the physical matter that is then going to be birthed. So playing with these ideas of liberation. In the first week en route, we were in a liberation path. It does help clear kind of each energy center to kind of move through, maybe notice some of the blocks, get big and expansive. And as we move through week 2, kind of concentrating down and getting a little bit more clear about what it is you want to create, what action steps you want to take to help create that. In the liberation current, we're moving toward freedom, expansion, abstraction, and universality. It's a pull of the mind and the spirit. In the manifestation current, when we're moving toward form, density, boundaries, contraction, and individuality. It's the pull of the soul and the body. So our first 7 paintings, we began with root, we moved into creativity, transformation, untangle in the heart, vibration, conscious evolution, and clean the bowl. If you are behind, that is okay, you're right on time. Notice how each one works on you, and then also how they work together as a collective. Each kind of series has its own unique flavor, the series of 7. And the first one is in the root, so working out the kinks and If you don't have Wheels of Life or Eastern Body, Western Mind, you're welcome to borrow mine. I will mail them to you if you need me to. Feel free to ask. I'm always open. But there's just so much wonderful information. There's meditations, there's yoga poses associated with each chakra. And I think that energy and color and these ideas can sometimes help us get out of our heads and into our bodies. And it's a tool that we can use to help assess energy as well as play and explore. And you take what you need and you leave behind what you don't. So always trying not to take it too seriously and also kind of honor whatever is coming through for you. So if you have any questions, let me know. But that's just a little review. This one's a little bit longer because we went into the liberation and manifestation current as well. But excited for the review of week 2 in the sacral chakra. We're moving from red to orange. And tune in, reach out. I would love to hear your feedback. Take care.